we can grow more food in London, and if people come together to do that, we actually start to build far stronger communities around food growing. At the very beginning, we started with a plot of derelict allotment land in Chingford. This is a really recent development in terms of taking on working in this greenhouse. But the idea sort of first started to germinate about 2 years ago when the council closed this site and were sort of struggling to know what to do with it next. And it's at a time when sort of I think there's much greater awareness of the need to produce more food, but also much greater awareness of the need to make sure that resources are being used more effectively. So resources such as this are actually being used in a way that benefits the communities that are around them. So those two things came together, and we were given the opportunity by London Borough of Waltham Forest to take on this, it's a lease, and to sort of start to produce food and plants for sale within this sort of local North East London area. So it's very much a project that sort of came from those that are growers in this community, but then it's about reaching out beyond that to other growers.
I heard about OrganicLea initially through an organisation called WOOF, Willing Workers on Organic Farms, that I've been involved with. I guess I'm just really interested in sustainable ways of living, particularly in the city, and I guess with kind of future threats of peak oil and climate change, bringing food growing closer to home. Yeah, because we're still waiting to hear that we've got funding for the project. So this is very much our sort of trial and design phase.
We started here about sort of 3 months ago, but it very much came on the back of sort of 2 years of working with London Borough of Waltham Forest to work out if there's a way in which a group of people that are trained horticulturalists with a focus on food growing could actually take over a derelict sort of local authority resource and bring it back into community use. That's how the project here began, and that's where we're at the moment. There's about half an acre under glass and about 12 acres in the surrounding area, although a lot of that is woodland. I think what's really important about the site is the food growing will also be balanced up with nature conservation work, with the maintenance of existing apple orchard, which is over on the far side, and looking at how you can sort of grow in a way that has minimal impact on what is already a really interesting and diverse wildlife area. So there will be some food growing, there'll be some raising of plants for other growers in the local community, but there'll also be some nature conservation work in this particular site, at this site. It's totally about being in the right place at the right time. Yeah, that's what it's about, I think. And right place, right time, but also some of the right people around as well. There's 3 aspects to our work. One is the actual growing up here, and also sort of linked to that is training work. So we work with the local community learning and skills service, and we run training courses for adults in Waltham Forest in food growing and related skills. So we've got the growing site, which also doubles up as a training site. We run a market stall and various other food-related activities at the Hornbeam Centre, which is a community environmental centre about 6 miles from here. And we also, the third thing we do is we also work with a range of community groups, from schools through to daycare centres, through to allotment community sites, to actually encourage and support people to grow more food in their environments as well. So we work with other sort of community voluntary organisations in the borough, encouraging them to grow more food and supporting them in that process. I guess it's like a sort of it's a ripple really. There's a core that are involved in the glass houses, the community support work, and the hornbeam, which probably totals about a dozen people. And then around that, there's a group of probably about sort of 20 to 25 volunteers that will come for an open day once a month, or sort of participate in a project on a monthly basis. We've also got the people that come and shop at the market stall or sign up to the box scheme, which probably totals another sort of 70 or 80 people. It depends how you, in terms of involvement, it's a ripple effect. You know, I don't know where it starts, I don't know where it stops. And I like to see it in that way as well, because in order to be a successful community-based project, it's not about your core, you know, it's about actually the ripples and the people that sort of use you and learn with you and share their time with you in a myriad of different ways. We've got a funding bid in at the moment, which would actually secure part-time workers here for sort of the sort of coming sort of 5 or 6 years. So that's, yeah, no, we've just submitted that bid. There's basically 3 products coming out of this site. One is the plants, which we will sell throughout North East London to other growers. That's both community projects and also gardeners and allotment holders. Number 2, we've got the food at the moment, salad crops, but that will be marketed to through local box schemes and through local market stalls beyond Waltham Forest, looking at Haringey, Hackney and Redbridge, other boroughs. And we've got, again, you know, a project is a sum of all of these parts. It's not just about what we do in Waltham Forest, it's about the networks and the connections that we've built up with other community projects, other similar community projects in other boroughs, that will actually mean that when we've got product, whether it's plants or whether it's food, we've actually got a way of moving that product out and into the ground in other parts of London. So that's how we'll sort of work with the produce. The third thing that we're producing will be the training courses. And again, they will be primarily for people of Waltham Forest, but as we've found with other training courses that we do, people come from all over, because there actually aren't enough food growing training courses in London at the moment. So it's about building on that. It's about building on the work of the last 7 years, I suppose, really. I think it's a very informal network, but there is a network of projects and of people that are both engaged in food growing, but also believe that seeing more food grown in London is actually essential to all of our sort of sustainable futures. There's lots of different ways in which you can get involved. One is you can come along to the open days that we have regularly here. Secondly, you can get involved at the Hornbeam Centre, get involved in some of the food activity down at the Hornbeam Centre, sign up for a training course, sort of volunteer at the project, come along and see what we do. There's all sorts of different ways in which people can get involved. Buy the produce, buy the plants, plant them in your own garden, you know. Lots of different ways in which people can get involved. This project it's based in Waltham Forest, and a lot of our immediate links are in Waltham Forest, but we've also worked closely with groups in Haringey, with groups in Hackney, and we actually see this as a project that is about the Lee Valley as a whole. You know, this is a project that is about North East London, and it's hopefully a project and a vision that can help support projects and support inspiration across North East London in terms of food growing and its ability to support and change communities as well.